In this video, I'm going to go over the more advanced evaluation tool. So when you start this up, it's going to provide a dialog to get it started. So I want you to enter your name for recording purposes. Then you can choose from already loaded detectors or add a new one. So for example, I add a new one and go to downloads. Actually, this machine manual downloads. And I choose this one here, which is the FCE. And it's going to ask me, would you like to replace all? I suggest just replacing all unless you're running on a production machine. Let this load. Okay, so it says it's been loaded. At this point it'll stick that detector in the list. And then I can choose my path to evaluation. So go stored images. Okay, so I'm working in this directory for evaluation. So go ahead and select, and then I can set the certainty score. So I'm going to set it, I don't know, around, let's set it to 20. And then I'm not worried about overlap, and I'm not worried about check order, but if you were, you can set those settings as well. This pass threshold over here is what's used to determine the amount of acceptable false failures. So if I set this to 99% pass threshold, that allows 1% of false failures for the data set that you've loaded. So I think there's 50 images in this folder. So if you get one failure, that's going to be 2%. So this is really, will require all of them to be good. So maybe 97%. And then over here you can choose whether or not you're going to use calibration. So this, on a production machine, you could use calibration against a set of good images and make sure that the results match the calibration. If you do not use, it's going to use the labels. So when you're working offline, you want to do evaluation of images that you've labeled, have that box checked. And then you can also overwrite labels by checking this box. And then you can switch between the boxes with scores or the checked boxes. I'm going to leave it off. Right, so then I hit start. And this will just go through all the images and determine what it sees and what it expects. And it also stores these images off to a separate folder, which I'll show next. So if I let this run out, it's going to clock all the accuracy, keep track of all the scores. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this early. So now time the evaluation is complete. You'll see that there's this path. So if I go to that path, actually, so C, program data, evaluation. So the evaluations are stored here. Sort this by date. And this will give you details on the base accuracy, whether or not it's capable, it's not, how many images were used, and then false failure paths and false positive paths as well. Alright, so that's some stats. It'll also show me the stats if once I hit OK. And this program actually goes and calculates what's the best scores to use. to avoid false failures while having no false positives. Alright, and then there's also a list of the false positives and the false failures, just like that report. And if I go ahead and click on display, it'll show me what it sensed. And I can go ahead and correct these. So I can switch that one and say that's actually good foam. Save. So this allows you to correct any incorrectly labeled images. So other things that can be done are you can export the calibration values, the best calibration values for import at the actual production machine. Or if you're running on production machine, you can just go ahead and save them.